Welcome to the party, pals. Late night, Friday going into Saturday, hanging out, talking about video games, talking about other kinds of stuff, but mainly video games. Hanging out. We'll probably play some stuff, some games. I've got my older PC set up over here, like I was telling you before. And we're going to go through some stuff. We're going to look at some things. I want to talk to you about whatever I set up and what I've been doing. I got my PSP Go sitting back there. You see it sitting on the downloading games slowly, filling up that 128 gig SD card. It's going to take a while. I don't know if I will fill it up, actually. We'll find out. I don't know. Ask me if I know. I don't know. There you go. We're also going to look at some stuff on this computer. So let me pull that up. Take a look. Take a little peek. If you happen to join the chats, feel free to say hi. Discord, Rumble, or YouTube. You're all welcome. All are welcome. Go into the light. I've been looking at some of the comments everybody's been leaving. Some good stuff. I'm running a poll currently. The question of the poll, if you haven't seen it yet, is why do you visit this channel? And I think that's a good question to ask. Why do you visit this channel? And I've given you some options to choose from. And I think all of these options are not only valid, but worthy of their own attention as far as consideration. So first option for gameplay and fun discussion. That's why a lot of people come. 53% so far. To expand my knowledge of gaming and retro hardware. Good luck with that. Do you know who I am? Are you familiar with what I do here? You might not get too much expansion of knowledge here. Let's just say that. But 33% have voted for that, and I respect that. So thank you. To spy, troll, manipulate, ridicule, pretending to be cool. Nobody's voted for that yet. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Some people come here to vote in polls, but nobody has voted for that, so I find that suspicious. And then, of course, the actual answer to the poll, which is to prevent Xenu from exploding the thetans in volcanoes, as described by the prophet L. Ron Hubbard. Very important answer. The correct answer. Only one person voted for it, and I think I know who it is. A man who might be mistaken for a Scientologist by the way he looks. Down Phoenix. Nobody else has voted for that, though, so I don't know. Whatever. So, no, we might not even get anybody in here tonight, but we're gonna take a look at some of the comments that I've been getting on the different videos that I've had. Some of these comments are from old stuff, from old videos that have been hanging around, but I'm just gonna go through some of that stuff. I'm also gonna take a look at retroachievements.org, which I have been a member of. I've discovered recently since September of 2016. And I guess I was setting up RetroArch at that point and playing around with the retro achievements, and they've been up and down over the years. The website and how it works and what it supports and everything. It's gone through a bunch of different phases, we'll say that. But I've had it set up a couple times. You can see I have a few games listed here that I actually have some retro achievements on. But you can set this up to be integrated with RetroArch, and I think there's other emulators that will allow it as well. And then you can have achievements if you so desire. It's a fun way to add some replayability and, keep track of some of your progress on some games and basically have a way to people ask you, hey, did you ever beat that game? And you could go look up your retro achievements and be like, oh yeah, I beat that game. Here's my stuff. What's cool about the way they have it set up is there's a mode, in order for it to track your achievements, you can't use like cheats, and there's certain things that it like blocks out to where if you do that, then it won't track your stuff. So it kind of keeps things more standardized, I think is the word I'm looking for. So it's pretty cool. And I've got that integrated into RetroArch now, so I can start building up some achievements in here. I'm kind of surprised to have any achievements in here, but these are like obviously just from me testing the thing. I haven't ever actually sought to build achievements in here yet, but I think I'm gonna do that. I think it'll be fun. So I'm gonna be tinkering around with that. Tinkering. All right. Anyway, so we'll take a look at some of these. I gotta switch computers. I'm on two computers. I forget. Bring this up to where it's a little bit bigger on the screen. Okay, so yeah, we'll look at some of these comments and I'll give you some thoughts I have about some of the things everybody's had to say. Recent video is this upgrade thing that I did for the PSP Go, and I had some good comments on that. Down Phoenix actually brought up something which was really interesting, because when I got the PSP Go, I thought that it used the same memory cards as the PlayStation Vita, and then I was surprised that it wasn't the same memory cards. They're M2 memory cards, but they're different. They're not compatible. The biggest one that you can get for the PSP Go is 16 gig. And good luck finding a 16 gig one, because I could never find one. And I'm sure if you did find one, it would be ridiculously expensive, because it is the highest that they make. The ones for the Vita go up to like 64 gig, I think. I think that's what he was saying here. I actually did have a 32 gig one when I had a Vita. And it was expensive. The 64 gig one was absurd. There was no way I wasn't spending $200 on and that was years ago. I don't know what it would cost now, but $200 on a memory card, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And a man in my position can't afford to be made to look ridiculous. Anyway. But yeah, so that's why I did this whole upgrade thing, and now I have 128 gig in that thing, plus the 16 internal, so that adds up to 144. That's where I got that number. I can do math. Basic math, but math. So, anyway. People commenting on a post that I made where basically I was just thanking everybody for hanging around and, paying attention to half of anything I do. And that's cool. Thank you. So, yeah, there's some comments on that. Eating Pace said, it's rare to find a channel that's truly hosted by a gaming enthusiast. Well, I'm nothing if not enthusiastic. Ask anyone. So many of these charismatic hosts are just trying to push the most algorithm favoring content. I like that stuff too, but I come here for honest, enthusiastic content. Well, I am honest, I think, maybe. Or am I? Anyway, I try to be. Nodding 56, Cyrus Martin, so glad you're online. It's been a turbulent week at work. Oh, I gotta switch mice again. Damn it. Back and forth I go with the mice. Yeah, thanks for being here, Nodding. Muchos gracias. What's going on at work? Hopefully nothing too bad. That's not good. Mike Wolf. Mike says, I'm a Super Mega Graphics fan. Well, I'm a Mike Wolf fan. Every time Mike comes in the chat, I am enthralled by what he has to say. He always has good comments. Tricombe79. I come for the games, but stay for the banter. Well, I got plenty of banter. I also have plenty of games, so we may never run out. I have it's a limited supply, but it's a pretty, it's not super limited, you know. There's a lot, so you're good. Don't worry about it. I got you. Thanks for being here. Casey, also thanks for the comment. Thank you, Casey. Casey, a great friend of mine, recently helped me get a game that I've been trying to get for the Intellivision. It's a homebrew game, and I'll be doing a video or a stream or something. I don't almost never do Intellivision stuff on my channel because I have so many things to do, and I do a lot of collaborations with other people on Intellivision stuff. So yeah. But thank you, Casey. Casey's a really good guy. All right. And why Jerry? I'm guessing that's how he says his name. He's actually responded to an old video I made about the Neo Geo AES and why I ended up selling my AES. It's a brilliant console. Obviously, it's an arcade system that they consoleized. The Neo Geo is legendary. You know, it's amazing. But it's so well emulated these days that I made the decision to go ahead and sell my Neo Geo hardware, and I just own Neo Geo games digitally now. I did buy a really nice arcade stick, and I don't really use it, though. You'd think I would use it, but I actually just prefer to use a controller most of the time. But once in a while, it's cool to break out that stick. So I have actually better control options with emulators, believe it or not. But yeah, so and why Jerry says, I couldn't agree more with you. I've been there and realized despite the nostalgia involved, there comes a point where we have to realize we have another option to get back into retro gaming at a fraction of the cost of maintaining the original hardware and buying games. I'm happy now with RetroArch and all of my handheld consoles. Well, I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. I mean, yeah. Nodding says, the people are right. You are a genuine gaming enthusiast, and that makes your content enjoyable. Thank you, Nodding. Thank you very much for that. Your comment is genuine and enthusiastic, and I appreciate it. So thank you, sir. I always appreciate you hanging out and sharing your thoughts and opinions and just having fun with me. Thank you. NSA spy vans. Oh my God. Hopefully it's not the NSA again. No. He just says great video, and he's responding to this TurboGrafx 16 PC Engine arcade system card video where I just very briefly showed some of the arcade system card games. The arcade system card for the PC Engine, CD-ROM, and the Duo, and all that. If you don't know too much about it, it's a little bit complicated. You can watch the video I have if you're curious and learn a little bit more about it. But I'll tell you this, that arcade system card is amazing. It adds a tremendous amount of memory to the console and lets them do actual, we were talking about Neo Geo a second ago, really awesome Neo Geo ports on there. So it's really cool. I actually skipped this one right here for some reason. Ender6747, he's responding to a Ridge Racer Nintendo 64 versus PlayStation video. I don't know. I think I even say this in that video. It's hard to compare those two because they're so different. The N64 one's like a totally different game. It is somewhat similar in some ways, but yeah, it's very different. But he says, N64 looks great. It's a pity the compressed textures due to cartridge lack of storage. However, it's still stunning. I actually think it looks pretty good. I don't think it's a bad looking game. And it plays good too. I like the N64 Ridge Racer. It's awesome. Eating Paste joins the chat. What's up, dude? What's up, brah? Just going through some old comments. Here's an old video. Wipeout PlayStation versus N64. There's another one where I'm comparing the different versions. And I got to tell you here, Wipeout on PlayStation, I think, is a lot better than Wipeout on N64. I mean, musically, obviously, it's not even a contest, but graphically, I don't know. It looks a little weird on N64. That's just my take. Boogity, boogity, boogity. He says the PS1 Wipeout games were and are some of my favorite games ever. Still have my long box OG Wipeout I got with my PlayStation in January of 1996 with Ridge Racer, of course, and the copies of Wipeout XL and Wipeout 3 I bought on day one of their respective release. I did eventually play the N64 game, but aside from analog controls, I didn't feel the need to play it very often. But hey, any Wipeout is a good Wipeout. That's a pretty even-handed evaluation of that whole thing. I definitely prefer the PlayStation Wipeouts. Yeah, definitely. Good comment there. Eating Paste, N64 was well-built system for racing games. There's a bunch of good racing games on N64. Absolutely. There are. Mike Wolf. Give credit, brah. Welcome, Mike. How you doing? Nodding says, I want to get Ridge Racer for 3DS. I've been told it's pretty damn good. Nodding, you are correct. Ridge Racer on the 3DS is amazing. I love that 3D effect on that console. And if you have the 3DS XL or the new 3DS XL with that bigger screen, it makes a big difference. Yeah, you should definitely get that game. I'm sure you can find it. Hopefully not too expensive, but you should be able to find it. Eating Pace says if N64 had CDs and could hold all the contents of Gran Turismo, would be crazy. Yeah, I always wonder what could have been had that N64 DD drive made it to the United States, made a full release. Man, because that would have been pretty interesting, I think. With the expanded storage capability and everything, those writable discs, that would have been pretty fascinating, I think. Mike says, I'm not bad debating whether to go with a Pi 5 with, wait, I'm reading this. Let me back up. I'm not bad. Okay, so there's supposed to be a period there, I guess. I'm not bad. No, you're not. Damn it. Let me back up. One more time. I'm not bad debating whether to go with a Pi 5 with Bacto syrup. Okay, I got you. I got there eventually. I went all the way around the mountain, but I got there. Yeah, I don't know about a Pi. You might, this is just my personal take. You can buy one of these micro PCs really cheap from like Micro Center or Newegg or something like that. And then you have access to all the PC emulators and, RetroArch, but also all the individual emulators that are not available on the Pi or anything like that. Like, for example, the Big P EMU for the Atari Jaguar. Excuse me. Let me do this correctly.
The Atari Jaguar, sir.
Like you get a micro PC with an i5 and, at least 8 gig of RAM, and a 500 gig hard drive in it, and it'll for less than $200, and then you can upgrade the shit out of that. So that's what I would do. But, there's reasons to do the Pi. I'm just saying that's probably what I would do. Any Pace says, yeah, the DD drive would have answered the storage question. Definitely. It would have been so badass. It was like meant to sit underneath that thing. One of the highlights of going to the Video Game History Museum in Frisco, the couple of times that I've been, is checking out the N64 DD drive that they have there. They have it on display with several of the games, and you can look at it, and it's really cool looking. It would have been awesome. I think you can actually buy the Japanese one on eBay and stuff, but there's only a few things available for it. But man, it would have been cool if that had come out here. Just the possibilities, Final Fantasy VII probably would have made it onto the N64. But it is what it is. Too bad they never got it off the ground. Yeah. Ipe says, what are you looking to turn the Pi 5 into? That's a good question. What are the needs? Pi 4s are pretty good for emulating basically anything. Mike says, yes, decisions. But like you said, I'm probably better off with a mini PC. I mean, that's just what I would do. I don't want to, and like I said, everybody has their own needs and uses for things, but it just seems to me like there's a lot of versatility and a lot of extra support for emulators if you do the PC route. And I think you can get a lot better performance. The DD drive would have given us a real RPG on the system. Yeah, obviously. I mean, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of PlayStation RPGs that might have showed up on the N64 for sure. I think that's a very strong possibility. Okay, the game complainers. He's talking about this Flash Gear Game Gear Pro EverDrive. It's a knockoff EverDrive that I found online. And he was just saying he had asked me a couple of questions about it, and he told me he was ordering one. The only game I think I mentioned this on another stream. The only game that I couldn't get to work on it properly was Gunstar Heroes, but everything else, including Master System games, ran on that thing great, and I highly recommend it. The great thing about it also is it saves your save files on the SD card, and then you can take those and put them on your computer, keep them as a backup, use them on other emulators, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. All right. Here's another video where I'm talking about the N64 plus it's about the flash drive. It's like a generic EverDrive called the ED64 Plus that I have. And I was just saying it looked pretty cool. Here's a video where I was talking about some homebrew stuff for the Intellivision. Romaine barrel? I don't know. People look awesome. Oh, he's talking about I think he's talking about Choplifter on that. So now here's an old video I made about Hover Strike for the Jaguar. And Joseph B 4086 says, I had fun playing Hover Strike on Atari Jaguar. I got to tell you, Hover Strike looks really good. There's a CD version also, which I recently got to play on the Big P Emu. That's that emulator that runs really, really good for the Jaguar. Hover Strike looks good, but it doesn't play very good. It is really hard to get used to the way it controls. You can get used to it as if you play for a while, because you'll start to get the hang of it, but man, you're like sliding on ice. It's pretty tough. Mike Wolf says just emulators up to the GameCube, maybe Wii. Yeah, I would go the PC route. I would do that because you're going to have the best performance by far for like GameCube and Wii stuff if you use Dolphin, the standalone Dolphin that's available for PC. That's, especially for GPU, for the GPU usage that you're going to need for that. I would get you a micro PC that has a decent GPU. I mean, it doesn't have to be spectacular. But something that's, better than nothing, Oop, wrong mouse. Gulama, I don't know how to say that. Talking about that arcade system card again. He says, I have big doubts. Please, can someone help me? I own a Japanese Mad Stalker sealed mint. Is the orange color of the OBI on the side of the jewel case with the arcade CD inscription slightly lighter than the color of other games with the orange arcade CD-ROM, or is mine slightly faded? Wow, I have no idea about that. So if anybody has any ideas and wants to go back to that video and help him out, I'm not even sure what's up. I don't know why he's asking that question really, but interesting. All right. Eating Pace says, I've got a Pi 4 and I'm going to turn into an arcade board. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to use the Pi 4. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not using my micro PC anymore at the moment, and I'm eventually going to turn it into an arcade machine. I got that really good joystick. I've got that. I've got the CRT monitor. I think I can turn it into some sort of contraption. That's a project for another day, but I think that's what I'll eventually do with it. I've thought about for years making an arcade cabinet. I definitely don't want to get one of those arcade one-ups, you know. I would want to build something myself, but I don't even know. It's something I've thought about though. Any pace, but I didn't spec mine all the way to GameCube. Oh yeah, yeah. Any pace, I basically tap out on playing retro games after the Dreamcast. Mm. GameCube is really good, dude. There's some fantastic, and because Dolphin runs so well for most of the GameCube games. I mean, there's some that don't, but a lot of them do. There's a lot of games that are on GameCube that are also on other stuff like the PlayStation 2 and stuff. But if you get the GameCube version, you can run it through Dolphin and you can do some enhancements to the graphics and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Mike Wolf, awesome. Thanks. I think I'm going to do the PC, but do a Pi 4 project for my nephew before I leave New York for up to just PlayStation type stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, Pi 4 is pretty powerful. You can do a lot with that. Pi 4 is pretty powerful. Please. It's a lot of P's. Any pace, the arcade one-ups are too small for two grown men to play at the same time. Well, it depends on what you mean by play. No, you're right. I used one time and I thought it was pretty small. You know what I'm saying. Nodding 56 says, dude, I have deep nostalgia for GameCube. I get goosebumps on my arms talking about the Cube. It was a very special part of my life, just like the Super Nintendo. GameCube, dude, it's a very unique system. The controller, very interesting, very different. Small little discs. A lot of the games on GameCube are not like anything else, but it does also have some good third-party titles. It has some good stuff, man. Yeah. Plus, it has that attachment that let you play the Game Boy Advance games and regular Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games. That's pretty badass. It's pretty awesome. Pi 4 should do up to PS1, no problem. I agree with that. I agree. Oh, wait. Hang on. Baz fans hot hits coming at you. What's up, dude? Yes, I'm here. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Here's a comment. Let's see. Smashing blar blar blar. I don't know how you say that. It's talking about this is a comment from my stream where I was playing Final Fight 3, I think. Yeah. It says, hey, dude, I didn't watch the stream, but just wanted to comment on your latest video so you know how much joy your magazine brings me. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I mentioned previously that I work in an area that bans phones and has zero internet access or phones, Windows. Yeah, it's like this. Having your magazine sends me back in time to a happy place wherever I need a break or to use a bathroom. Whatever. Just don't use the pages for toilet paper, please. It's a terrible, that would be disgrace. That would be terrible don't disgrace the consoles. It's not about me. It's about the games. About the games. The point is that I really appreciate your work and will always order a physical copy as long as you're decided to keep making them. Well, I'm not really making any more. I do have 4 of these. Hang on, let me bring this back. I do have 4 of these. There's the Nintendo one and Nintendo one. That was the last one, issue 4. Then third one was the TurboGrafx one. That's the biggest one. Ooh. The Sega one, if you're from Australia, the Sega one. And the first one, which is sort of I don't know, like a summary of the 16-bit console launches. I worked on them pretty hard. There was quite a bit involved in making them. They're filled with a whole bunch of like old ads from magazines like from back in the day. Plus I made a bunch of articles myself and did a whole lot of work on the artwork and uh, editing and all kinds of crap. So there's quite a bit in these things. You can buy them if you're interested. There's a link in, I believe, the description of this stream. If not, you'll find one at the top of my. Yeah, I don't think I put it in the link. It's not in the description of this stream, but it's on the top of my channel page. If you want to buy one, you can. I don't make any money off of them, but they are still available. The digital version is also free. You can download the PDFs for free. And since we're talking about it, I had something funny happen, which you guys might think is funny. I discovered something interesting. It was kind of hilarious. On eBay, I found out that somebody was reselling my magazines. There's a eBay seller who resells publications. Apparently resells all kinds of books and magazines of all kinds. And I noticed that he was reselling these magazines off of his eBay, which you can do that. It's not illegal. But damn, he was trying to sell these for like $30 a piece. They're not worth $30, dude. Like, if you're going to buy them, please don't go to eBay, because those are not me. That's not me selling them. And that guy's charging way too much. Just go to the Lulu website, or like I said, follow the link that's on top of my channel if you're interested in that. Mike says, Serious Sam on GameCube is the GOAT of the Serious Sam ports. I've never played it on GameCube. I will have to do that, Mike. Bez Fans Hot Hit says, I'm a gamer through and through. Long live the 2600. 2600, man, lots of good gaming on that console. Man, I have a lot of good memories on that. Absolutely. And very well emulated, obviously. Very, very well emulated. Eating Pace, I also have the full set of these and highly recommend them. They are all great reads. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I just wanted to make something fun that I like, because I love magazines, and I thought it'd be fun to make a magazine. So I had a good time doing that. Silver Wings, what's up, dude? Silver Wings says, just got done streaming and beating Punisher on Sega Genesis on expert difficulty. Gonna post that to speed run so hard no one attempted to speed run it. Wow, that's a hell of, dude. You're awesome, dude. That's a hell of an accomplishment. So yeah, good luck. Let me know how that turns out. That's awesome. I'm glad you told me about that. I'll have to go back and watch your stream. And everybody else, go check out Silverwing's channel. Absolutely. Was anyone buying them for $30? Well, I don't know. Who knows? It looked like, from what I could tell on eBay, that 2 of them had sold. But you don't know. I mean, is it them buying their own stuff on another account to make their numbers look like they're better or something? I don't know. But good God, who would $30? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's see. Mike Wolf. He said Sonic Blast Man 2, in case you forgot, is a Final Fight clone. Yeah, man, I got to remember to try that out. So I'm going to do another Super Nintendo stream probably tomorrow with my Super Famicom, because I never did play Gradius 3. I got the cartridge and I never played it on a stream. But also, I ordered another game that I've been thinking about ordering and talking about ordering forever, and it's supposedly coming in tomorrow. And if it does, it might be pretty cool. So we'll see. We'll see if it comes in. Some comments I made about supporting homebrew and some thoughts I have about homebrew. So I don't want to get too much into that again, because I have some thoughts about the homebrew scene, especially the Intellivision homebrew scene. But I know that there's a lot of thoughts. Let me say this. I support people that are making games. And if they're making old like games for old hardware, homebrew games and stuff like that, I think that's amazing. Whether they're doing it for Intellivision or ColecoVision, NES, Genesis, whatever, TurboGrafx. I see a lot of homebrew stuff, a lot of hacks also. A lot of people like to hack N64 games quite a bit, and I really do support that. Um, Regarding the Intellivision homebrew stuff, I would say my thoughts in that video were basically, we need to, as a community, figure out how to do things in a way that makes sense. If you're going to make games, you need to make them available for people if you want people to play them. If you're going to go to the trouble to make a game, I don't understand why you're not making it available. I don't understand why you're not trying to spread it around to people and let people experience this hard work that you poured into this thing. But there's a lot of weird thoughts and a lot of different takes, and there's a lot of things going on in that community that I don't necessarily understand. But I do think it's important to support people that are working, trying to make things that we want, hopefully they're doing that the right way. But also I think it's really important to make those things available. And I don't want to, like I said, I won't go too much into that whole thing again, because it was kind of like gives me some anxiety to talk about. I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Nodding says, Christmas 2001, I got a GameCube, 2 controllers, Luigi's Mansion, and Tony Hawk 3. I'll never forget the amazing feeling when starting Luigi's Mansion. It truly felt like we were in the next gen. Nodding, I'm going to shock you right now. I have never played Luigi's Mansion. I have never played that game. I don't know why I haven't played it. I know I need to play it. I haven't played any version of Luigi's Mansion. So that's going to be on my list of to-dos. That's on my honey-do list. Sorry. Baz says, 30 of my English pounds for a mag. The king would not approve. No, he would not. No, he would not. What I've seen and heard of Charles, the king, he seems like a decent person, pretty level-headed. I don't know. I mean, what do I know? But what I've seen of him. I saw some YouTubers made a video where they were like riding bikes down this old like country road, and it was like raining. And there was this dude walking down the road. They pulled their bikes over. It was Charles. It was the king. I'm not even like joking. This is a YouTube video. You can go watch this video. They were out on their bikes. He didn't have nobody with him. He didn't have no security, nothing. He's just walking out there. He stops and talks with them for like 15 minutes about all kinds of stuff. Very polite. Really cool. I was like, damn. I respect that guy. I don't know his politics. I'm not talking about politics. I'm just saying as a person, he seemed like a decent guy. So, I know that the royal family's going through some stuff right now. I heard on the radio there was this whole thing with the, man, I can't remember her name. You know who I'm talking about. The Williams' wife. I hope she pulls through. They said that she has cancer and she started chemo. So I know kind of a downer topic, but we're talking about the royal family real quick. So I wish her nothing but the best. And they're just people, right? They're just people. Tricom says, such a classic. Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion is a short game, but a fun experience. I'm going to have to play it, dude. I really am. I really am going to have to play it, guys. I know. Baz says, believe me, he would have had a SWAT team. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's the case. Maybe they were like hanging back somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. You never know. These videos that they put on YouTube, maybe it's like a setup, like for some reason. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, here's another discussion. This guy's leaving a comment talking about that Game Gear flash cartridge. Don't Kit Kittleson or Don Kittleson 9974. Okay. He says, "Can someone please tell me how to save games on this? I have saved Shining Force 2 several times and have used a new micro SD card. Every time I save and turn off the Game Gear and it turns back on, there's nothing saved. There's a certain way to save games." I already responded to him here, and I'll just read what I said. Make sure you have a folder named Save in the main directory. It should write the save file there, and that's what I experienced, because I wanted to test that after I saw that comment from him, and I was like, oh, is it not saving games? But I was able to save games and pull those save files and back them up and everything. So it seemed like it was working for me. So I don't know what was going on there. Hopefully he did not have a defective cartridge. That would suck ass. That would not be good. All right. Another comment here about the Neo Geo. This is from Ket O Blip Ag. Catablippe? I don't know what that means. He says, I have many good emulation setups like a Raspberry Pi 400 and a Raspberry Pi hooked up on CRT, but real Neo Geo hardware is still better. I'm very sensitive to input lag. That's a thing. That's a real thing. And when I play emulated, I can always feel the timing is slightly off, especially with games like Neo Turf Masters, one of my favorite titles ever. So I have an MVS cab and I collect MVS carts, which is another really good option if you want to do that, because they have a lot of good consoleized MVS setups. That's the arcade boards. But people can go the real hardware route even cheaper with one simple slot MVS board. There's a million of them, a decent Supergun CRT and a 161-in-1 banana cart. I've heard so many different conflicting things about those multi-carts, the voltages and issues. People, I don't know, man. I don't know what to believe. Like, let me finish reading this and then I'll go in on that for a second. And it'd be objectively better than AES. For example, the MVS RGB video output is stellar as any other arcade board for that matter. I've never tried Mister, so I can't say if the input lag is an issue on that too, but it's wonderful to play on original hardware. Just doesn't have to be AES. Need a game that's not on the Chinese 161-in-1 cart? Buy a bootleg on AliExpress. The only good thing about owning an AES is having on the shelf those beautiful carts with colorful boxes, manuals, and labels. If you're rich or insane enough to spend all that money on this hobby. Well, I mean, he's got a good idea what he's looking for as far as, the real hardware and stuff. If you're very sensitive to input lag, especially if you got really familiar with Neo Geo before emulation or like on original hardware is what I'm saying, basically. Like if you played the crap out of Neo Geo games on original hardware, then you tried to play emulation, I can definitely see, especially if it wasn't a good emulator or if it wasn't optimized or if there was something in the chain of what you had hooked up that was causing more of an input lag, then that could really mess with you. So I definitely understand what you're saying there. But yeah, there's a lot of good options. Now, what I was saying about those multi-carts is I've heard a lot of conflicting stories from people. And I know the Neo Geo community is probably one of the more like particular communities. It's a community of people who have very strong opinions about the hardware and the games and stuff like that. And so I know there's going to be a lot of different ideas about what is a good setup and what's an ideal setup, what's a bad thing to do or whatever. I know that a lot of those guys really do look down on emulation, no matter what it is. They don't like it. I respect that because I do recognize that having the real hardware is a very special thing and a very different experience in a lot of ways. But it comes down to what you're looking for and what you think about the games themselves and how sensitive you are to the input lag. And if you can figure out a way to get that sort of thing minimized while you're using an emulator, I mean, there's a lot of it's a lot of good ways to play Neo Geo. And if you're willing to tinker with it, with the software and with the hardware, you can get an experience playing Neo Geo games through emulation that I think is very, very close to the arcade. And the AES joysticks, I don't like them. I was very surprised how bad they were. Like, the stick itself is fine. Like, it has micro switches. It's nice, but the buttons are not good. And the plastic it feels cheap. I was very disappointed in the AES joysticks. So I don't miss that. I'm very glad to not have to deal with that. But yeah, having the real thing with real hardware is pretty damn cool. It's just kind of crazy to try to figure out how to do because of the expense and it's just a lot. It's a lot, and it just wasn't something that I wanted to do anymore. So Tricom79 says, I still have a Babbage's receipt for a Game Gear game inside the carrying case for my Game Gear. Dude, that's pretty cool, man. I used to, back in the day, I had a Game Gear with one of those big cases, and a whole bunch of games all in the little slots inside the case, you know. I gave it to my little brother, and he loved it. He played it for many years. He really enjoyed it. And I ended up buying another Game Gear a couple of years ago, which is not modded in any way. It's just a stock Game Gear. It's fun to break out once in a while and just play an actual Game Gear. One of these days I might replace the screen on it, though, because it is getting pretty bad. So I might do that, but it's pretty badass. Baz says no one should emulate the Abomination. The Master System 2. Well, I mean, if you're going to play Master System games on an emulator, you're emulating the Master System. I mean, I think they probably have a BIOS for the Master System 2, but you're definitely, whatever experience you're having through emulation is going to be better than playing a Master System 2 through RF output. It's pretty hard. Pretty hard to do there. I'm losing my voice a little bit. Sorry. Okay. We'll skip that one. We don't need to say anything there. Playing PS3 and PS4 with PS5 controllers. Yeah. So, yeah, you can actually, I don't know if you know that, if anybody's aware of that or anybody cares, but you can play on your PlayStation 3 console. You can use a PS4 controller or a PS5 controller. And you can even use them wirelessly. I got a video that talks about that. But the only downside is that the PlayStation button, the PS button in the middle, you know which button I'm talking about, the menu button, it doesn't work on PS4 or PS5 controllers. So you have to also keep a PS3 controller hooked up and ready to go, because you're going to need to use that button. Other than that, the experience of playing PS3 games with a newer PS4 or PS5 controller is really good. It's a superior experience. The only other thing, there's one more thing, you don't get force feedback. You don't get rumble, which that kind of sucks. But you can actually use those controllers. Here's a cool comment from my buddy Chris Courage, who did all my mods on my Intellivision. He AV modded that. He AV modded my ColecoVision. He repaired the CD-ROM and my TurboGrafx. And he S-Video modded my PC Engine Duo back over here. Chris has a comment here about the Dreamcast, and he's talking about Trick Style. I don't know if you ever played Trick Style on the Dreamcast, sort of a hoverboard racing game. And apparently there's a version of Trick Style that you can get that's patched to work with VGA, which some of the games don't work with VGA. They just don't. If you've got the VGA breakout box on your Dreamcast and you're using that to convert to HDMI or whatever, some games won't display anything on the screen. They just do. They're not compatible with VGA for some reason. But apparently there's a way they can patch these games to fix that problem. So that's good to know. So you'd have to like either play it through an emulator, or, which at that point, what difference does it make? But if you're playing it on real hardware, you'd have to burn a disc to get it to work. So keep that in mind. You're obviously going to have to burn the disc. Silverwings, nope, I never played Trick Style. You should play that game. It's pretty fun. Okay, here's a video where I was talking about canceling my Analog Duo pre-order, which was shocking to me and probably to a couple other people that I would cancel that pre-order. Just wasn't right for me. I mean, I have all this original hardware. It just didn't make sense to me. But I understand why I absolutely understand why it would make sense to other people, just not for me. But this guy, Owamushi VR, he says, my PC Engine Duo is problematic. I bought the Analog Duo. So that's a good reason why somebody might want to get it if they don't have hardware, like original hardware, or if their OG stuff is getting kind of wonky or messing up or having issues. It's nice to know. I mean, I'm really appreciative of the fact that a company has made a new piece of hardware that runs TurboGrafx stuff. That's pretty crazy. So, and that's FPGA, so that's pretty awesome. Bass says, I remember the day I got a VGA cable for my Dreamcast, the heavens opened up. It was pretty wild. Seeing a Dreamcast through VGA back in the day was like, oh my God, on a VGA monitor. Yeah. Like it was like a whole, like you said, the heavens opened up, a whole new world. Actually, I could hear the song from Aladdin start playing. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to read this real quick. Here's a video I did talking about generic EverDrive for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color called the EDGB Pro. This guy says, good evening. I may have the files to put into the micro SD. Thanks. I think he's asking for ROMs. Archive.org, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah. Here's a video where I was talking about some of these emulators being able to increase the resolution of the Mode 7 effects for Super Nintendo games and making the games look really interesting, really impressive by doing that. HD Mode 7 is what I called it. And he's just saying it's really cool. But yeah, if you haven't tried that, definitely try that. There's a few different emulators that do something like that. They don't all do that, but some of them do. It's pretty awesome. Luke had some comments about some of the Dreamcast stuff that we were doing. Dolphin Blue, which is a port of an arcade game, a Naomi game, I believe. It seemed to have a lot of slowdown on the Dreamcast. I don't know. Chaos Field, which was a shoot 'em up, I think. A shmip. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool they're doing those ports, those Naomi ports, so you can play those arcade games on your Dreamcast. It's pretty wild. Okay, man, I keep going forever, but my voice is starting to crap on me a little bit. Maybe we'll play some games. Maybe that's enough with the comments, so close that down. And we'll bring up RetroArch. Retro. Pharaoh Man 23. What's up, dude? He says, got up early to get a PS2 launch day, and they sold out before I could get one. Oh my God. I understand. Got a Dreamcast instead and never regretted it. Got MDK that day and Sonic, still play Dreamcast all the time. Yeah, I couldn't go because I had to work, but my brother and my cousin waited in line to get PlayStation 2s on launch night. and they had almost none. Like that was like of all the launches, that was one of the worst ones because like every store only had a handful. They only had like, I mean, some stores only had one or two, you know. My brother and my cousin, they waited at a Walmart and I think they got like 10 or 12 of them. And they literally counted off the people in line and they're like, okay, this is the last one. Everybody else that's here, we don't have any. And what really sucked is like, you know, you couldn't reserve ahead of time or whatever. It was just like, you got to get there. You got to go. This was in the days when you couldn't, you know, you had to actually go and get there and first come, first serve. And you would wait in line. And people would go like days ahead of time and camp in front of stores and tents and stuff. It was nuts. And so, yeah, they count off the people and they go, okay, you're the last one. You know, all of you 10 people or however many people, y'all are going to get them, but you're the last. And then a lot of people would leave, go to other stores and see if they could get lucky, you know. But a lot of people wouldn't. A lot of people would just keep waiting in line, even though they'd been told they weren't going to get one, just hoping that somebody's credit card wouldn't work or something would happen and they'd have to leave and then there'd be one more available or whatever. It's a lot of broken-hearted people just waiting there for no reason, you know, for hours and hours and hours, not being able to get their console. So you have my sympathy, man. I'm sorry about that. But you, like you said, you know, you got a Dreamcast, and I'll tell you what, man, Dreamcast is not, it's nothing to turn up your nose at. Dreamcast, obviously, there's so many amazing games on that system. Silverwing's got a pre-order. That's what I did for the Switch. Yeah, well, things are different by that time, obviously. Baz says, I do remember buying a 360 and ordering a hard drive from Amazon and had to wait 3 months. Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the Wii launch was also really bad. I was working at Best Buy at the time. I was selling computers. And so I was there when the Wii launched. And they had them all stacked up in on a like a platform. It wasn't really a pallet. It was like a platform they had set up with all these Wiis. And when they opened the doors, everybody bum rushed and it was like they were gone in seconds. Like all the Wiis were gone, like done. And I couldn't believe they just set them all out there. You know, they didn't like give people tickets and then they just go to the register. That's what happened with the Switch when I went to the same Best Buy that I used to work at to get my Switch when it launched. And they went down the line of everybody waiting in line and literally gave us like tickets. And we're like, here you go. Here's your ticket. You know, you got your thing. Here's our list of accessories we have available. Do you want any of this stuff? So you actually got to, you know, lock in your purchase before you actually got up there. But they didn't do, you know, they didn't do like internet reserve stuff or anything. So you actually still had to go wait in line back when the Switch came out, at least at that Best Buy that I bought mine at. But at least that had some sort of like structure and order, you know, because back in the day, man, there were stories that like when the PS2 launched, of people getting mugged out in the parking lots and people getting shot, like crazy stuff happening, you know. It was weird times, man. Tricom worked at Best Buy and computers when the Dreamcast came out. How about that? That's funny. That's interesting. Wow. Baz says, here's a question. Have you ever bought a physical game, then bought it digital so you don't have to get off your bum? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've bought digital versions of physical games that I had because for that exact reason. I think I started doing that on the 360 because I was like, you know, I'm tired of getting up and changing this damn disc all the time. Plus, I wanted to keep a game in the disc drive, you know, and it would be like, this one doesn't need to be in a disc drive. That if I buy this, I can install it, have it on the computer. Then I'll have a different game in the disc drive. So it just gave me options for my laziness. Pharaoh Man says, I miss Sega consoles. Maybe someday. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I think it would be cool. I mean, I think, but maybe not. I mean, who knows? I think the days of consoles are coming to an end in the not too distant future anyway. So I don't know. But it would be pretty cool. We are talking about Neo Geo earlier. We could throw down some Neo Geo. Robo Army. You ever play this game? Uh-oh, we're only getting one audio channel. Oh, no, we're not. Maybe we are. Maybe it's kind of jacked up. I can't tell. Hang on. Let me see if I can fix this. That seemed to have fixed it, so that's good. Oh, maybe not. Uh-oh. Okay, hang on. I know how to fix it. Hang on. There we go. I'm having to run the audio a different kind of way, so sorry about that. Seems to be okay now. Silverwing says, for months after launch, it was hard to get a Wii. I got mine at Walmart, saw them in the shipping box just before they were going to put them out on the shelf, and I got one before it sold out. Well, that's good, dude. There was a lot of stories of people, like, having to get somebody to, you know, set them one behind a box on an aisle somewhere or something. There was a lot of stories about employees hiding them and not, and then like I remember that. Oh my god, maybe it was the Wii, maybe not, but I do remember stories of like all of the consoles that a store got, the employees hid somewhere, so they literally didn't have any for launch. Talk about a bummer. You go into a store and you're waiting and they're like, oh, we don't have any. What do you mean you don't have any? I thought, no, we don't have none. And then they sell them to themselves. Yeah. One thing you won't miss is the Abomination. Shut up, Bess. That's funny. Someone says, I never played Robo Army. It's pretty cool. Pharaoh Man, I have the PC Engine library on Raspberry Pi. One console I never owned. I never got to play growing up. Some stellar games so far. Oh my god, it's my favorite console. PC Engine TurboGrafx, freaking love it. So many good games. Tricom says that push-pull marketing, sheesh. Yeah. Alright, let's play some of this. Alright, this has got 3 buttons then. I like how they give you like instructions. Oh, it's like a Tron maneuver there. That's interesting. I like how they give you instructions on how to play these games. Here we go. Uh-oh, my webcam is frozen. Uh-oh. Hang on, let me... Damn it, hang on. There we go. Let me figure out what's wrong with my webcam. When did that happen? When did that happen? Yeah, it is frozen. Wow. Okay, I don't know if I can fix it. There's something wrong with it. Okay, well. Hmm. All right, well, I don't know what's wrong with it. Hopefully the stream is still going correctly. Huh, weird. Best sense, I prefer Outrun on the Turbo over the Mega Drive. Oh, yeah, it's pretty good, actually. Outrun's pretty good on the PC Engine. Absolutely. Trucks and it's better on PC Engine too. Yeah. So I was frozen today. What movie was that with the... That was the movie with Hulk Hogan, right? What was that? It's okay, you look focused. Yeah. Suburban Commando. There you go. That's what it was. I remember that movie. I remember. You turn into a car like the cartoon Turbo Teen. All right. Got my turbo going. Yeah. Power. Power up. Oh, pick up a Jeep and throw. Oh, look at that. Knock his top off and his feet just walk around. That's funny. Oh, wow. You can pick up their arms and use them like weapons. Ouch. Yeah. Oh, what are they? Oh, they're turning into a giant. I was like, what the hell's going on? They're merging. So long, doggy. Uh-oh. Damn you. Yeah. So when you disarmed them to arm yourself. Oh my gosh. Track comes, I remember when Michael Jackson turned into a car. Ah, memories. I remember that as well. Was it a car he turned into? I guess it was. That was a long time ago, man. Bass says, one thing I know is I have never seen Neo Geo in the plastic or touched its sexy controller. Well, I'll tell you what, man. It's awesome. The console itself is amazing looking. Controller, the joysticks, unfortunately, kind of disappointing. They're not that good. But the console is really good. Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. It looks kind of like the vehicle on Blaster Master. Wow, that's weird. This game is crazy. Can I rescue these people? How would I do that? I have no idea how to... Oh no, here we go. What is that, a giant ape or something? Yeah, I rescued y'all. What's up? They provoked the wrath of Jeed. My army destroy forces against us. Wow, Jeed sounds like he's very upset. A car, a robot, claymation, motorcycle, rabbit. He did it all. Favorite man, a zombie and werewolf too. Yep. Baz says, don't you need hydraulics to lift the carts? Oh, for the Neo Geo? Yeah, they're pretty big. Bassarino says, the smart car of death. Ah, yes, the vengeance of going green. Yes, it was made by Elon Musk. Yeah. Oh. Those look good. I don't know. Those are weird looking. I like all the scaling effects and everything. This game's got some pretty cool graphics. These guys, like, this whole game, the characters, they look like toys. They look like action figures or something. I probably would have bought some of these if I would have seen action figures for this. Ah! Damn it! Yeah. Uh-oh. We got company. They're gonna merge. No, they're not. Thought they were. Oh, they got like dash maneuvers. That's not good. I like how when you hit them, it's like metal hitting metal. It's a pretty cool sound effects. Oh, that sucked. Come over here. Oh, not like that. Damn it. Here, eat this. Yeah. Alright, hang on. Trigon says, unsafe at any voltage, coming soon to bookstores near you. Ah. Yeah, look at that kick. Hell yeah. Well, it's a T1000. Maybe not 1000, but it's one of the T's. Damn it. Cyrus, you gotta stream Doom Resurrection for 32x. Such a cool upgrade. It actually really is. It really is. Yeah, and if you have a Sega CD, you can get some really awesome CD music. I like to play that with the soundtrack to the 3DO Doom. The 3DO Doom sucks. It's terribly optimized, which is really weird, but it is. But it has a fantastic soundtrack. The music is amazing. So that's a pretty cool way to play Doom Resurrection. But they actually have done a new soundtrack that's just like the game itself. You know, it's not a CD soundtrack. They added a new, really good soundtrack to the game itself also. We'll actually go check that out real quick. We'll close this. Because I can play it on this. I don't have to play it on my actual console. Let's see if I can find it. Man, I don't know which one of these it is. Hang on. Da-da-da-da. Let's see here. Close content. Genesis. Where did I put that? Forgot I had turbo on. Oh, is that it right there? Doom Resurrection? Yeah. Let's see if that works. I might have listed it in the Genesis games. Let me see. No. Okay. Yeah, it's probably going to be one of these European ones because you have to patch the European one. All right. Well, let me try that one. No, that's not it. Try that one. We'll see. Man, I don't know. Hopefully I can find it. I might have to manually do something. No. Okay. I'm gonna have to do something. Uno momento. Ta-da. Let's see if that works. One thing I don't like about RetroArch is you can't just freaking just play a ROM. You got to make it, like, find it first. You can't just load it. Ugh. Not sure why it's not finding it. I'll try these two, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the, like, European ones. Yeah, that's not it. I know what it looks like when it starts. That's how I know it's not one of those. Well, crap. All right, let me try something. In file. Maybe there's something wrong with that version of that ROM. Let's see if that works. No, it's not showing up. Oh, crap, man. That's annoying. Oh, I'm so far behind on the chat now. I've been messing with that. Bassend's never been a Doom fan, though I have them all. What was the crap about Doom being best played in silence? Oh, I don't know. It's probably PC people who played it without a sound card. Pharaoh Man says that was Jagger version, maybe no music. Oh, yeah. No music in that one. That's right. Tricom, I used to listen to Cypress Hill while playing Hex, and also that'll work. That was some pretty good fart bass, though. Yeah. Hey, you're 10 steps ahead of me. Haven't gotten myself to sit down to learn RetroArch. It's kind of convoluted. Pharaoh Man, Doom. Our minds are blown by 32X back in the day. Yeah, 32X, dude. It's actually pretty good. It's actually not bad. Bass says, I think it's personally time for me to load up some Doom 2016. Now that's a good version of Doom. That's obviously a lot different, but it's badass. Can get into the style of Eternal someday. From Cyrus, Doom another time. Yep. I don't know why. I'll figure it out. I'll get it for the next stream. I'll figure it out. If nothing else, I mean, there's a way to do it. I can break out my Genesis if I have to, but that's weird. I don't know. Who knows? I'm pretty happy with the Saturn emulation now. It's actually pretty damn impressive. Some of the Saturn emulators will actually run these games at a higher resolution, which is pretty wild. Not every game looks good that way, but there are some that actually look pretty cool. Like, let me bring up Fighters Mega Mix here. Now, this is a game that is actually interlaced. So if you try to play this with the Beetle emulator, it's interlaced. It looks all wonky, you know, with the lines on the screen and stuff. But if you play it with this one, I believe, this Kronos one, then I think it'll do really nice. Let's see how it performs. Let's check this out. Give it just a second to boot up here. There we go. Well, I thought it was working on this one. Obviously, it's not. All right, let me try. Let's try this one because I know it will. Sometimes it'll crash on this one though. That's why I didn't want to do this. But let's see if it works on this one. There we go. Outrun on the Saturn is 60 frames per second. You just have to do there's like a code you have to put in. 30 frames otherwise, but it looks amazing no matter what. Outrun is fantastic on the Saturn. Okay, so for this, if we go to core options, let's see, is there... No, this one's not, this doesn't support it. Hang on, because this will just give us interlaced video. We don't want that. Okay. I'm going to try Kronos one more time because I'm pretty sure it was working on this. It's not working. Okay. Well, then we'll try this one. See if it works on this one. Let me see here. Core options. Resolution mode. Yeah, here we go. So you can do multiples all the way up to 1080p, 4K. We'll try it. We'll just do we'll do 4x. We'll do 720p. That makes more sense. 720p. All right. Tessellization. We'll see how that looks. Okay. Let's see what we get with that. Because the Beetle emulator, which I believe is actually Mednafen, it'll run them. It just doesn't do anything special. It doesn't like improve the graphics. So you get whatever it is what you get. So we'll see how this goes here with this emulator. Bazarino, so the ROM wouldn't be categorized as a Genesis game? It didn't seem to come up. I don't know. Play as a car from Daytona. Yeah. Yeah, this game's pretty wild. It crashed. Damn it. I knew it was going to crash. Okay. Well. So much for that. It's weird. Things will run great, and then when you try to do them on a stream, everything messes up. Typical, right? Same story everyone tells. I'll check that Genesis stuff again for Doom, but I didn't see anything that said Doom other than like Doom Troopers. Yeah, just Doom Troopers. So it doesn't come up. It didn't come up for Genesis. All right, let's try Virtua Fighter 2. I know I got that running. I know I got this running. Yeah. Murphy's Law, yeah. Nothing escapes the might of the task manager, yes. Ha! Silver Wings, that's funny. Nah, you got that one covered for tonight. Toshinden. That's a place that runs a lot better on PlayStation. Yeah. All right, hang on. Let me see if we can get this to do what we want it to do. Okay, see, we got this actually running at a higher resolution. And it looks like it's crashed. God dang. Yep. Okay, well, so much for that. It don't want to do all that. So I think for Genesis stuff, I mean Saturn stuff, we're probably just gonna have to stick with the Beetle emulator, which means, unfortunately, that the interlaced games are not gonna run correctly. They're gonna run how they run, which unfortunately means that you get the scan line stuff. But Beetle doesn't crash like that. At least it hasn't been. And it could work out RetroArch. Never could. I got you. At least you didn't have to incur the wrath of Alt F4. Shut up. All right, hang on. You can see it's like flickering like crazy. We'll see what happens when I try to.
Fight one. Ready, go!
Well, that actually isn't looking too bad right there. Is there a setting that I put in for de-interlacing? Maybe I did. I forgot. Yeah, I found a shader that enables, yeah, Bob de-interlacing. I forgot about that. Okay, so Beetle will give you de-interlacing. So that's pretty cool. So I don't know. I don't think I can get higher resolution. I don't know what this does down here, though. The scale. Let's see what 2x does. Let's see what happens with that. Ooh. I don't know. That appears to be just for the de-interlacing. But that doesn't look bad. It's running a little slow. Let's see if I can fix it. Where was that at? Shaders. Yeah, send that back to 1x. Okay. Seems a little slow. Maybe something I can change to fix that. I think I'd probably just play on my actual Saturn, you know, get better results. But it's better than it has ever been. Saturn emulation has come a long way. Some of the games run pretty good though. Just that, I don't know. Tomorrow or later today, Saturday, I'll be doing a Super Nintendo stream and we'll play some Gradius 3. And I have another cartridge that's supposed to come in the mail. I finally bought R-Type 3. I pulled the trigger on it. So that should be coming in and we'll do some of that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. PlayStation stuff runs really good on here, you know, in RetroArch. Even with all the enhancements and stuff through Swan Station, everything runs really good. The Saturn, I wish it would run better. Battle Arena Toshinden actually looks pretty good. Toshinden 3. I played the crap out of the first one. That was a launch title. Played the crap out of that. 2, I played a little bit because I rented it a couple of times. I never bought it. 3, I never played back in the day. So it's pretty cool to finally get a chance to, you know, play a game that you never got able to play, but actually play it better than it ever played on the old hardware. OpenEmu on Max runs so well, I miss using it. It's the audio game thing or emulation thing. It was running a little sluggish, so it was screwing up the audio. R-Type's an expensive one. Well, I bought the Super Famicom cart because the Super Nintendo cart is like $160. I'm not paying that much. But I ended up paying, I believe, about $60 total. Yeah. Yeah, it is complex. That's absolutely true. R-Type is brutal. Take a look at my British coins. When took a lot of your British coins when you were a kid. I got you. Yeah, it is really hard. It's a game you can... The more you play it, the better you get, though. Dude, that dude has a chainsaw in a fighting game? What? Bass. I didn't have the pennies to get good. Damn you, rich kids. Golden gun. Wow. The outfits they put some of these some of these people that are supposed to be fighters, the outfits they put these people in, it's like, wow. I mean, I'm not like complaining necessarily, I'm just saying, wow. It's a really long opening. Ten count.
Ready. Fight.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Ouch. Oh, ow. Okay. Wow. Okay, it's kind of a wonky fighting game. No problem. Is it the Twin Towers in the background? Probably so. Bloody Roar 2 is amazing looking. It's definitely one of my favorite look as far as graphical like as far as the graphics, and the gameplay is actually pretty good too. Bloody Roar 2 is pretty awesome. It's another game that's interlaced. I have this digitally on my PS3, and if I try to play it, it's all like scan lines and stuff. It's weird. Like Tekken 3 is like that too.
Bloody Roar 2, the new breed. Hugo the wolf, the tiger.
Here we go.
Oh, look at that. See? You see the lines? That's the interlacing right there. So I'm using a different core. I didn't change it to Swan Station. See, that's why you want to do that, so you don't get those lines like that. Okay, we'll switch this out. Close the content. Wow, it's crashing on me again? Okay. It's weird. Bloody Roar 2, set core. Yeah, it was on Beetle, no wonder. Swan Station.
Bloody Roar 2, the new breed. Hugo the wolf, the tiger.
There you go. You see the difference? Look at that.
Get ready.
Yay, furries. Alright, so you get the point. Oh man, I'm gonna have to wrap this up, guys. So later on today, at some point, hopefully, we'll do that Super Nintendo stream and we'll hang out some more and play some more video games. Get my webcam fixed. I'm sure when I was messing with the audio back there, I accidentally messed with the cable that for the webcam, and that's probably why it's not working. So I'll get that fixed, and we'll be good to go for next time. Anyway, congratulations again, Silverwings, on the Punisher. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. Baz, thanks for showing up. Baz Sereno, Baz Fans Hot Hits. Also, and Tricom79. Thank you, as always, sir. Thank you very much. Pharaoh Man 23. Thank you for being here. Love hanging out with you guys. Let's see. Anybody else am I missing? I don't know. I might have missed somebody. If I did, I apologize. But yeah, this is fun. Hopefully you guys had a good time, and we'll do it again next time. So y'all take care. Have a great weekend.